It's time for Real Estate 101 with the Carrie Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors.
Good Sunday morning to you. This is Carrie Brown, broker, owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. So my guest today is famous. You'll know him from his Saturday show. Charlie Campbell is with me today.
Oh, you said famous. I was waiting for someone famous to walk in the room.
Well, he is. He's already sitting here across from me.
Gee, I'm going to need a shovel for this interview. I can tell that.
And I'm in the driver's seat this time and not him. So,
you know, the passenger seat is kind of fun. There's no buttons to push. There's not a whole lot to do other than answer your questions. This is kind of fun being on this side of the fence.
So today we're going to get to know who is Charlie Campbell. So, Charlie, actually, you own and operate Topeka Winsupply, correct?
Topeka Winsupply, that is correct. We're a wholesaler, so most folks don't come walking in our door because we don't sell to the general public. We take care of professional plumbers and heating and air conditioning technicians that come to your home or your business because you're having a service issue with something, or they're building a building for you. And obviously, in order to do that, they're bringing tools and knowledge. But what they sometimes need is parts and materials, and we come in for that purpose.
But you also help them with the knowledge part. You teach classes too, don't you?
We've taken a company that was originally called Topeka Win Nelson. It was down across the street from Hallmark back in the 90s, 80s, and I think it started, I don't even know, Topeka Boiler and Supply or whatever the name of it was. It'd been around for a long time, and Win Nelson took that over and moved it over on 13th Street. And when I bought the company, I moved it from 13th Street to Southwest South Park Avenue. So we moved, I think it's 4.5 miles. Not that the downtown area was bad, but the south area just seemed to be a little better location for us for access. Our goal with the move was to create a wholesale environment like none other here in Topeka. First off, we're the only one that's locally owned. All the others, to my knowledge, have corporate decisions. So every decision that we make as a team. And when I say team, that team includes our customers. So if you wanted a particular faucet, a particular type of flush valve, a particular piece of china, a particular type of sink, type of water heater, we would bring those in specifically for you. We really listen to the customer and try to put together kind of a different flair, if you will. So to start with, from the aspect of the technician coming in our door, they have two options when they come in. They can come up to the counter, which is the traditional way to order a part or a supply. They're also welcome to go out and shop on their own in our warehouse. And that seems to be a very popular way for service technicians to pick up or pick out a piece, a part, or a product. And a lot of it is because, especially in the plumbing world, each part may have 5, 6, 7, 8 different names. And so it's difficult to walk up to the counter and ask for something, and the person at the counter goes, "A what?" You go through that whole thing. Sometimes it's less embarrassing and a whole lot quicker just to walk out and pick it up yourself. So we offer that twofold way of doing business, the counter or the warehouse. And then we have what we call a pro room. It's like a showroom, but the difference is it is an extension of our customer's business. So plumber comes to your home. He is working on a toilet, and it needs to be replaced. And you also have him doing something else, cleaning your washing machine drain or whatever. And he may say to you, have you considered a new toilet? Well, yeah, you have. He can send you over to the pro room. He can call us and tell us exactly what rough-in you've got, all the Spanish, if you will, because there's a lot of Spanish that goes on in the plumbing world. So he'll explain the Spanish to us so that we can just speak English to you when you come in, and we can point you in the direction. A lot of our fixtures in the pro room actually operate. So you're not just picking a toilet based on how it looks. We have had more fun with some customers. We just grab rolls and rolls of toilet paper, and we practice flushing this stuff. I mean, let's see how these products are really going to perform.
So you haven't had a little kid try to get the bathroom in there?
No, actually, I haven't had that happen yet. We were close
guys,
once.
We should break that in.
We were close once, and actually had a plumber offer to try and break in the fixtures. But no, so far they haven't been technically or professionally used yet, only for display purposes. We have flushed lots of toilet paper. I did flush a Matchbox car. I probably shouldn't have. We've got some really cool toilets, some of them that clean themselves. We've got.
I need one of those.
Oh, I'm telling you what.
I need 3 of those, actually.
We can hook you up. All you need is a plumber, and we will get you taken care of. So the goal is, we realize that a service technician in a service truck only has the ability to carry so much stuff to show you as the consumer. Whether you're in a commercial business, whether you're in a residence, you deserve to look at the product that you're going to get. And these guys can only carry so much on their truck. So we are that extension. You can come in, take a look at those items, pick them out. We can actually stick it right in the trunk of your car while he's still at your home. Take it right back and get it installed. It saves you money. It saves you time. It saves him money. Saves him time. At the end of the day, everybody wins. Now, the piece of that that's missing is the educational aspect. And we have educational opportunities in 2 arenas. For the most part, plumbers understand how to install a toilet. But what about the new toilet that has low and high cleaning, and it cleans itself? When these new things come out, there has to be training on those items. So we have a training center for technicians, and we do contractor-specific training in any area that they so choose that they would like to have that training. We've done a lot on water pressure and water pressure management. We've done a lot on water softening and water treatment. We've done some classes on flash shield gas piping. We've done classes on backflow prevention. There are so many different aspects that we try to cover everything that a contractor would need.
So it's kind of the all-in-one shop.
There you go, one stop.
I'm serious, though. I need actually technically 4 of those self-cleaning toilets.
Not a problem.
I really hate to clean toilets.
There's 2 buttons on the top. You can hit low or you can hit high. The only thing that hasn't happened yet, they're working on a Wi-Fi adapter so that while you're at your office and you remember, oh yeah, I've got guests coming over, you pull up your smartphone, hit a button, and it can clean your toilet remote.
So does the lid need to be down, or does it matter if it's up or down?
Doesn't matter.
So there's not water shooting up like a fountain or anything?
The only difference is if the toilet lid is up, your cat can watch this happen. And if the lid's down, well, he's just going to have to listen to it.
Well, I have a dog, so he'd be thinking it was time to drink or
then
something
if you have a
crazy.
dog, you probably leave the lid shut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's a drinking fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a very proper dog. He's not into drinking out of toilets, but he would definitely be confused.
I had a client one time that was having odd water usage and a lot of it. And it seemed as if there was a water leak because they were rarely home and there was an awful lot of water getting used. And they started analyzing their water bill, trying to figure this out. We looked everywhere. There was no leak in that house. And it took about 8 months to figure it out, setting a video camera. The cat was flushing the toilet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Found enjoyment in it, so just kept doing it.
But did it use it as a litter box? That's the important part.
No, I don't think so. I've seen videos that can happen, but I have yet to ever see a cat that can do that.
You never know if they had these secret skills and just didn't want to use the litter box.
This might be a good task for you. We might have to task you with training a cat or a dog to use the toilet instead of being taken outside.
I was
let's
proud
be
that I
honest.
taught my kids. Seriously.
So it's time
I'm
for...
still working on my husband.
Yes. So this is going to be the Carrie test. We're going to see how you do at this. I think this would be a great idea.
I think I would probably fail miserably, so we'll just skip that part. I'm back to the self-cleaning toilets.
All right.
I'm just grossed out by the whole thing.
This is quite an interesting toilet discussion that we're having this morning. And you're trying to figure out how to get off the toilet topic, aren't you?
Really.
It's tough to get off the toilet topic, but I'll give you a little help with that. Water heating is the season that we're about ready to head into. And the reason is our temperatures are about to drop outside. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, it's been nice the last few weeks, but that day's coming when Old Man Winter, I hope, we need a frost. Okay?
Yeah,
I'm sick of the mosquitoes. The bugs have gotten ridiculous. I want a deep frost. So blame me when it happens.
It is all your fault.
Because I am rooting for it. But as the incoming temperature of your water, whether it's a commercial building or a residence, drops, the delta T, if you will, the effective work that water heater has to do increases. Because your set point doesn't change. You're still wanting 125-degree water to come out of that heater. But what changes is, instead of the water temperature that's coming in being 75, 78 degrees, it can drop down to 45 degrees. So now we have to take water, instead of from 80 to 125, now we have to go 45 to 125. We have a bigger hill to climb. We have to work harder, and as that happens, that tends to be the time when most water heaters tend to fail.
So tell me, the blankets that you put around them, are they really useful?
The reason for the blanket around the heater, first off, years ago, that blanket was put together by somebody in marketing that figured out that they could make some money selling you something that may or may not help you. The water heater manufacturers at that time voided the warranty on the water heater if you used one. And the reason was they didn't want you to retain moisture in an area that would cause premature failure or rot.
Makes sense.
So they got away from that. Well, the issues that have evolved with water heaters over the last 20 years have been ridiculous. The whole thing started when someone accidentally spilled gasoline in a basement, and it went into the water heater and caused a house fire. And I think people were hurt. And that's very unfortunate. I get that. But wow, have water heaters changed since. They're now what they call FVIR, Flammable Vapor Ignition Resistant. You now are supposed to safely be able to pour gasoline at the water heater and not get burned yourself.
I would not try that, regardless.
I totally agree with you, but what that's done is it has changed forever the technology of water heaters and the difficulty of them. They are now rating themselves based on their lint, dust, and oil resistance. They are containing little sensors called flammable vapor sensors, and if this sensor senses a flammable vapor, it shuts down. So a lot of the at-home projects that used to happen in a basement that may contain a little smell are causing problems with water heaters. There's a whole new list of reasons that technicians need training to know how to troubleshoot all these new things that are surfacing every 2 days, it seems like. And the owner needs to be able to see some of this and understand it a little better. But see, I got you right off the toilet topic. I could bring you right back to it.
No, because we're going to go on a break, and then when we come back, I've got questions about tankless hot water heaters since you started that one.
All righty.
So please listen to our sponsors, and we'll be right back after the break.
Southwest Topeka has a good neighbor. State Farm agent Jim Garrison, now at 29th and Urish. If your current insurance situation has you going around in circles, get off the roundabout and stop in and meet Jim and his wonderfully efficient staff. Let Jim Garrison give you a quote and make the Garrison comparison. He's confident that with State Farm's competitive rates, the right coverage, and his unmatched service, you'll want to make him your new insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Jim Garrison is there for you, northeast of the roundabout at 29th and Urish.
Thanks for joining us again. This is Carrie Brown, broker owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. I am here with Charlie Campbell, the infamous Saturday morning DJ that hosts, what's the name of your show? Around the Home?
I'm glad to know that you listen to it often enough that you have the name just chop
it
right
every
here.
time. That's the reason why I asked.
It is called Around Your Kansas Home.
See, around your
Kansas Home.
I try to put the there.
I know. It's okay.
Every time. So
no
don't
matter how
judge
you
me.
stack it, it's still your Kansas home. No matter how you stack it, and we talk about it, you sell them and we fix them.
That's right.
That's a simple way to remember it.
Charlie's the man. So before the break, we were talking about hot water heaters. What? I don't even understand tankless hot water heaters.
I'm laughing because every time someone calls them that, it just cracks me up. If you had hot water, you wouldn't need the heater. So why do people call them a hot water heater? Anyway, they're a water heater.
It's inbred in us.
And your question was about
the tankless
ones. You know, the tankless heater is an incredible product. The goofiness, if you will, to tankless is in how they got their start marketing-wise. And marketing professionals will not like me saying this, but oftentimes marketing people shouldn't even be marketing anything until they first understand the product. And I think a lot of times they miss that step. So the tankless industry got started with this big push that you're going to save money if you have a tankless because you're not going to heat that water that's sitting there in your basement while you're at work. And they totally focused on that instead of focusing on the real benefits of the tankless heater, which there are many. But is it a cost savings? Well, that depends on your amount of stored hot water. If you have one tank type heater that's already installed in a 40 or 50-year-old home and you're a family of two, you're probably not going to save any money with a tankless.
But if you're a family of 5?
Depending upon how you tier your showers, you may not save any money with tankless.
Really?
The
so
big
it's just
benefit,
a space thing.
The big benefit to the tankless is in how you use your hot water. Had a family of 5 contact me one time, and it was a father and 5 females, his wife and
well, you know they were going through some water.
Yes, and 4 daughters. And their only problem was on Sunday mornings getting ready for church because everyone wanted to shower back to back to back. Of course, Dad's last, and he was showering in cold water.
Shower.
The cool part to a tankless water heater is that you literally can turn the hot water on, and you can run hot water for 99 minutes before it quits. And the only reason it quits, and 99 minutes is a variable number, different manufacturers use a different amount of time. The reason it quits is it's concerned that maybe there's a hot water leak. 99 minutes is a long time, okay? And so if you are the 99th minute person in that shower and the hot water quits, all you have to do is shut the faucet off, turn it right back on, you're right back to hot water. Oh. It's just a safety that's put in there so that in the event there is a hot water leak, you're not continuing to pay the gas to heat that water for the leak. That's the only reason that it stops. So the cool part is they call it endless hot water because reality it is endless hot water. Where does the money savings come from? We're starting to really see that now. The money savings comes on the commercial side because we can bank these things 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16 of them together.
Wow.
And solve commercial water heating needs for much less money than the traditional great big storage tanks and great big cumbersome boilers. We're also starting to see the combi boiler really become popular. The combi boiler will do 2 things. It will supply the domestic hot water to your property as well as supply the water for your hydronic system to heat your radiant in floor. There are a ton of benefits to the tankless. Space is, that's nice. The difficult part with tankless, if you have an existing home with a tank type heater, you have a little bit of a hill to climb to convert it for several reasons. First, we have to take the water heater from wherever it's located now, most likely close to an outside wall. Typically, it's the simplest way to vent it. Another situation that can come up is that the gas line sizing to the home may or may not be big enough to handle that extra load. A standard tank type heater operates between 36 and 40,000 BTU, where a tankless water heater will operate modulating on the low side at 19,900 and on the high side at 199,000. So it will require a natural gas load over 4 times as big as a tank type water heater. So now we get into the retrofit issue. You may not have a big enough gas drop to that area to cover the furnace and a 200,000 BTU tankless heater. The second area where we run into real struggles in retrofitting a home for a tankless is getting that vent, the flue, the exhaust for the tankless heater through a sidewall at a point safe according to the National Fuel Gas Code so that it can terminate those dangerous flue gases in a safe manner.
Gotcha.
They can't be, there's a bunch of issues. Snow load to consider. There is opening operable windows, doors, all these different things. Now, that's less of a problem sometimes than the gas line. But you start adding up, increasing the gas line size, relocating the heater, typically, getting it vented, getting the intake air pulled in from outside, running all that pipe. That is not going to make it more cost-effective for that family of 2 or 3 than that tank-type heater that they may have in place now. However, once you've climbed that hill, or if you're building a new home, you're going to do all those things anyway. And that's where tankless can really come into play.
So I ask because in our house, they used every conceivable amount of space, which is awesome. No
Right.
dead space is really a great thing.
Sure.
So back in the day, whenever we first moved in, Cooper's has always done our stuff.
Right.
So he was a lot skinnier back then. Well, this is his own saying because we've all gained, well, Troy hasn't gained any weight, but I certainly have. And so the furnace and the hot water heater are so close to get to the electrical box and to service the furnace. Literally, you got to weigh about 145 pounds. Anything over that, you're not getting in. It's just not going to happen. So we're going to have to do something. We're either going to have to move the furnace to the garage, or we're going to have to get a tankless water heater because nobody can fit anymore.
Well, the way I see it, you either get a tankless water heater or you start the Carrie Brown diet team.
I would be skinny if I hadn't failed at that so many times. Like I said, my husband's getting to where he could probably fit. But so anyway, space is another thing that I've always been told it could be helpful for.
Yes.
Okay, so what are the things that you would like to say to the general public that like to do it themselves?
There's a lot of fun that can be had in doing it yourself. And that's primarily the focus of our program on Saturday mornings is for those people that are wanting to do it themselves, they want to know the real story. And it's amazing how many times we get into that real story and it turns into, I think I've learned enough that I don't want to get into this. The reality is your home is probably, for most people, your largest investment. And if that's the case, you can successfully do some things like painting and, some folks can even add a divider or some sheetrock. They can change the trim out. Some can even change windows or doors. But when it comes to adding a second story, removing the entire roof and upsizing the joists and making sure the footing's big enough, or adding a room addition, those are things really, honestly, you're so much farther ahead hiring a professional for. Doing it yourself is exciting, especially if it's something new. And that's the purpose of Around Your Kansas Home. That's why we're there. We answer questions every Saturday morning and all week long on the email charlie@aroundyourkansashome.com.
So, in the Brown house, we have literally added 1,000 square feet, which took taking the roof off of the garage and then building up and then putting the roof back on.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't think there's anything we didn't do. The pool, the contractor kind of went missing, so we learned a lot of that via Google.
Right.
And installed it, and it still works right.
Good.
Became pool dealers. It wasn't in the plans. So I think we should probably listen to your show every week.
You're unique if you used Google and it worked for you. The sad part is that so many people think, well, I can find the answer. All I have to do is Google it. But I'll tell you what, there are so many opposing views of the way things should be done on Google that it just terrifies me when someone says, oh, well, yeah, I learned how to do this on Google. That doesn't mean it's right. I know this goes against the grain of everything everybody believes, but just because it's online does not make it true.
We lucked out. I'm going to go with we lucked out. We did call the manufacturer and got a video also.
Right. Well, that's a little different story than just finding the answer online. If the manufacturer sent you a video of what then that makes sense.
Yeah, so we are serious researchers. I'll go that far.
Right.
We're not just YouTube video.
Sure.
And we're just weird that way. We watch the videos, we discuss it, we watch it a couple more times, we argue about it, then we watch it a few more times, and then we come to a truce. And that's the way it gets
That's really
done.
funny. I've always heard that this is dating me now, but the number one leading cause of divorce used to be hanging wallpaper together.
Oh, well, we just put up a mural in my office, which is an ocean mural, at home, and so I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
My husband is like 90 miles an hour all the time. I mean, he's just got so much energy. And wallpaper takes a slow hand. It just does.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, just move out of the way. But he is, I mean, we've been doing this. We've been together for 18 years, and he knows
got a lot of respect for him if he was trying.
Oh,
Anybody that goes 90 miles an hour knows enough not to hang wallpaper. So if he was trying it, my hat's off to him.
I don't ask for a lot, so when I do, he tries to be accommodating. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
that's
sense.
the reason why we work.
What other mechanical things at home are on your mind?
Let's see. Let's talk to people about duct tape and the reason
100-mile-an-hour tape?
why it should not be used in electrical boxes.
Electrical is a topic we covered just 2 weeks ago on the program. It's kind of funny how people don't quite grasp the realities of fire and alternating currents touching each other and how all of that works. You know, the old electrical adage is white wire goes to the white wire, the black wire connects to the black wire, and if you have any other wires, just cut them off. I don't know that there's any truth to that, but that's the old adage. Electrical tape, duct tape, there is no tape that is perfect at holding wires together and secure and keeping them from grounding out, shorting out, causing a fire. All electrical connections have a base and a screw and a solid connection, and if not, there are these cool little plastic nuts that come in different sizes called wire nuts.
And they come in different colors, too.
Exactly.
So
that
you could
helps
still
you
have
know.
the same thing, the
Absolutely.
same decorations.
That's right. Had a question just last week about relocating an outlet, wanting to add another outlet on, wanted to know if it was okay to go ahead and cut the wire and wire nut on and just add one more outlet. The problem that we get into is that for the average person, they may have all of the tools and know exactly how to remove that outlet, know exactly how to add the wiring, and put it all back together. My question is, did you know how to do a load calculation on that circuit? That's where you can end up in real trouble. Homes today versus homes 50 years ago, we're using a lot more electricity than what we used to use. Our refrigerators, all these different things. Now, the cool part, as this advances, especially with LED, we are using less. The problem is, if you don't size that circuit, you don't know that that home run of wire going from the breaker to that outlet isn't overheating. And that's where a lot of electrical fires come from. Those wires get too hot because we're drawing too large of a load, and that often comes from someone putting in the wrong breaker. The breakers in the box are sized based upon the wire size that's in that home run.
And that's what we see a lot in home inspections, or things are too big or they're too small.
Yep, that's absolutely right.
Okay, so, of course, with Charlie, our show fills up super fast because you were so good at this.
Oh, boy.
So when they should hear you every Saturday morning at Around Your Kansas Home.
Around Your Kansas Home from 9 to 10. We're right after Cameron and Skinner Garden Store. So you get your garden stuff, then you get your home stuff, and then you tune in the next day to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for joining us, Charlie.
Well, sure. Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
He's an awesome guy. So you definitely should listen. And thanks for listening to us. Anytime you would like to buy or sell a home, please give us a call at 785-213-5188. Also, check out our website. It is the most accurate place that you can go, even more so than Zillow and Realtor.com, because we do syndicate with all of the MLSs that we're on. And that covers us from Kansas City, clear out to Manhattan, Junction City, all the way down to Emporia. So definitely check it out. It's nekansashomes.com. Thanks for listening to Real Estate 101.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate 101 with the Carrie Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors. Tune in again next Sunday at 11 o'clock for Real Estate 101.